Hey there, welcome to my channel. Today we have a great topic. 5 optical illusions that'll mess with your brain. But before we begin, make sure to subscribe and like this video. And now, let's get started. Number 1, spinning dancer. Take a look at this image. What do you see? A man or a woman? This is called the spinning dancer illusion. You should still see movement. This is called the moving dot illusion, and it's a type of apparent motion. In this case, the dots are actually static, but our brains are tricking us into thinking that they're moving. This happens because of the way that our eyes and brain process visual input. This is called the Muller-Lyer illusion, and it is a classic example of an optical illusion. That S based on our brain S interpretation of context. In this case, the two lines are actually the same length, but our brains are tricking us into thinking that the top line is longer. This happens because our brains are trying to make sense of the lines in relation to the arrows. Because the arrow on the top line is pointing towards the viewer, it creates the illusion that the line is longer than it actually is. When we look at an image, our eyes send signals to the brain which interprets them as light and color. But sometimes these signals can be misinterpreted, leading to visual illusions like this one. It's a famous optical illusion that was published in 1915. At first glance, it looks like a simple picture of a dancer. But if you look closer, you'll notice that the image is actually made up of two dancers, one on top of the other. And it's a type of contrast illusion. In this case, the two squares are actually the same color, but our brains are tricking us into seeing them as different colors due to the surrounding context. This is because our brains don't perceive colors in a vacuum. Instead, they compare the colors we see to the colors around them. So in this case, the white square appears gray because it is surrounded by darker colors, and the gray square appears whiter because it is surrounded by lighter colors. Do you see a triangle? How about an impossible triangle? This is a type of optical illusion that's called a Penrose triangle. It's a closed loop that appears to be 3 straight lines connected together, but it's actually just one continuous line. This illusion works because our brains are wired to look for patterns. We see the 3 lines, and our brains automatically try to make sense of them by connecting them together. But because the lines are actually one continuous line, it creates a closed loop that our brains can't quite make sense of. The one on top appears to be spinning, but when you realize that it's just an illusion, it can be a little disorienting. No, 2 moving dots. Look at this image. Do you see anything moving? If so, how about after you blink a few times? No. 3 impossible triangle. Take a look at this image. No. 4 colors. Which colors do you see? White or gray? This is called the white-gray illusion. No. 5. Which line is longer? Which line do you think is longer? The top one or the bottom one? Thanks for watching. See you next time.